With the release of Predator Badlands, which was not only a great Predator film, but was also a cheeky crossover episode Alien film. Or at least a Prometheus-style Alien-adjacent film. So I thought, what better time to look at the best Alien vs Predator film? And sure, when there's only 2 films in that series and one is literally unwatchable, that's not saying much. But that doesn't stop this film from being overhated, underrated, and a misunderstood masterpiece. Okay, maybe that's taking it one step too far, but I do genuinely love this film, PG overlit warts and all. In defense of Alien vs Predator. Now, despite the incredibly disappointing fact that the Predator and the sexy lady didn't kiss, I still think this is a pretty good film. And sure, the characters suck and are hilariously one-note and paper-thin, but honestly, who cares when that gives us more time to focus on what matters? I'm just a simple man who loves the simple things in life. Like grabbing 2 action figures and smashing them together. Or in this case, 2 iconic horror monsters and asking the simple question, who would win in a fight? Despite all its obvious flaws, I think the premise alone makes this a fun watch. Just like Freddy vs. Jason, a film I love.
How sweet. Dark meat.
Mostly. But I also think inherently, at least in this era it came out, combining these 2 franchises and iconic monsters, it was never going to be a nuanced, thematically rich and dense masterpiece by auteurs like Original Recipe Alien/Aliens and Predator. But also, I don't know, maybe that's Stockholm Syndrome talking, because that's what we got and I'm so used to the idea of this concept being dumb schlock. To simply describe this film in one sentence and why I do kind of love it, this film is dumb, B-grade schlock in a fun, Lovecraftian frozen prison setting that never pretends to be more than it is. And I love it for that. The film does absolutely drop the horror genre of the original films, and instead chooses an action and adventure style, which I personally don't mind for a versus film. I do love the genre of action adventure as my main meal with a little side dish of horror. The Mummy, Pirates of the Caribbean, Van Helsing. And so Aliens vs Predator taking this approach totally works for me, even if I get why some people don't vibe it. And whilst the aliens are about as scary in this film as they are in Fortnite, I honestly don't mind that when they still look so good visually and are mostly practical. And even the CG ones don't look atrocious, especially the Alien Queen. One of the all-time, if not the ultimate movie monster of cinema. She looks really great in this film. Still as gooey, tubey, and gross as you want. The idea of the aliens self-mutilating to free the queen is grotesque, and it's scary to see they are clever enough to make this escape plan. Sure, it's not Schofield clever, but it's definitely about as clever as you want from a monster with 2 mouths. The way this film combines the predators and the aliens, I think is genuinely genius. Imprisoning an alien queen in a frozen pyramid prison like she's some spare meat in the freezer to be awoken on command via lightning Frankenstein style, just to be forced to birth eggs so your newborn babies can be hunted and executed by Padawan predators in a hazing ritual, is some next level diabolical shit from the Predators. Those guys don't fuck about. I hate the aliens as much as the next guy who's seen Alien, but the Predators really hate these guys. Or do they respect them in their own perverse way? It's wild to think that they ran into the xenomorphs somewhere in space and went, hey, wait, don't kill them. I've got a great idea. Also, if any of these teenage trainee predators cook it, they just nuke the whole operation and start afresh after a few hundred years or whatever. Absolutely loose stuff from the Predators. This is totally in line with the Predators' attitude in Original Recipe Predators, Predators 2.0. These guys love to jump into a crazy, insane situation, and then when they cook it, they just go, nah, fuck it, I'll just blow the whole place up, won't I? I love how bulky the Predators are in this. Swole Predators, jacked Predators. It's like the Predators saw Arnie and his group of Marines from Predators 1 and went, hold on, Are we even that jacked? We need to really step up our game. This film is such a strange and funny snapshot of an era of cinema, and almost certainly the wrong era and director to combine these two iconic, if not the most iconic horror movie monsters of all time from a previous era of cinema. But I don't know, I still think it's like pretty fun for what it is. We've got big jacked predators slicing up aliens, and we've got aliens running about. If you're going to abandon themes and good characters and drop the harder, blood-soaked nightmare aesthetic most associated with these characters, at least unlike the sequel, I can see the two titular monsters fighting. And sure, sometimes it's overlit and it's PG, but I kind of love when a movie knows its effects and creature work look amazing and has the balls to just show us the creatures running about causing a ruckus. Not every film monster needs to be hidden for the first 2/3 of a film, and then still in that final act, hidden in darkness. We have those films, and they are great, and mostly better. But I, for one, love to relish in the effects and actually see the film. And especially since the sequel film overcorrected in the lighting department, and it has such bad lighting that it makes The Long Night look like a Friends episode, I honestly find it so enjoyable and refreshing to be able to watch the film I'm watching. The sets and design of the pyramid is also so fantastic. The film looks great and most importantly, feels real. It's 2004 and we are in the perfect time in cinema where films had a great blend and combination of practical and CG stuff. I love that the pyramid moves like some kind of perverse combination of the stairs at Hogwarts, the cube in the film The Cube, and the more terrifying real-world cube, the Rubik's Cube. Seriously, what is up with those things? Terrifying stuff. Also, it's very funny to me that in this universe, conspiracy theorists are correct. Aliens did build the pyramids. Now sure, they probably weren't thinking elite big game hunter space warriors with faces out of a Lovecraftian nightmare aliens, but hey, they still guessed aliens. So let's talk the canon of it all. The canon of this film is super confusing. Is the implication that Bishop from Aliens was based off of Wayland himself? Meaning in Alien 3 that must have been some kind of clone or advanced comes with real blood, milkless android that's also based off Wayland? Or was it always only canon in the Predator franchise and not the Alien franchise? And was the casting choice intended to make that very clear because he's playing a different character, but instead made it far less clear? I suppose it doesn't really matter, but I find it pretty funny anyway, and I do like the idea that it's canon in the Predator franchise, but not the Alien franchise. I don't know why, but that's kind of exciting and interesting. But also it doesn't really matter now on the Alien side of things, since Ripley has decided to make this film non-canon with his film Prometheus, which is just insane to me, because Prometheus is just this film, again. The whole premise and setup is exactly the same. It's very funny. I don't even know if he realizes that. Like, has he even seen this film? And since I also do love Prometheus, I guess I'm just a sucker for rich old sick assholes sending a bunch of idiot scientists into a situation they are not ready for. And yes, before you comment, I am very aware that Lance Henriksen is one of the few actors to have the privilege of being killed by the big three, Freddy, Jason, and the Predator. And so to beautifully bookend this review, I want to end on the fact that I don't hate the idea of the Predator teaming up with a sexy lady. Even if, yes, as I mentioned at the top, it is incredibly disappointing with that kind of sexual tension that they didn't kiss. Despite the fact it's bare bones and dumb, I just love it. It's a good film. I'm not even really sure if it is, but that doesn't stop me from enjoying it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. And I would love to know what's your favorite Alien vs Predator film.